Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. D94, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to Backlash 2024, but it's late. Very fucking late. Like, about to be a week late type shit. But anyways, though, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Backlash went international once more. The show wasn't hyped that much, but it had that element of being outside the US and being Cody Rhodes' first title defense. It was a good event that highlighted just how tremendous the European crowds were. Lyon, France held this event. To say it was exciting would be an understatement. WWE is kind of lucky that they could take things slow and use it as an excuse for this build. I wasn't interested in any match on the show barring one. The main event. The crowd, though, was one of the best in wrestling history, and that's saying something. Hell, you could even go and say this was the best wrestling crowd you've ever seen. They were shouting out there like Olympic Lyon won the French League, the French Cup, and the Champions League. It was ridiculous. One of the best crowds ever. They made the commentators seem like they were prime Stone Cold when they came out, and WWE went on the fact that whatever they put out, people were gonna watch, and that's exactly what happened here. So right now,
I would say they on par with the Puerto Rico crowd from last year, but these motherfuckers took it up a super fucking notch. They made every single match feel like it was the main event. Like, yo, shout out to France. Just when we thought Puerto Rico was the best fucking crowd, France said, fuck that, nigga, come here. Oui, mademoiselle. They fucking turned the fuck up. They made this shit feel so fucking good to sit through and watch. Even though it's like early in the morning, but still.
let's get into it. The first match on the show was a tag team match. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton faced Tama Tonga and Solo.
By far, this was the best match of the night. By far. I don't care what anybody said. This was the best match of the night.
Sikoa. The story of the bloodline is taking a turn. Roman Reigns' hiatus away has allowed for many changes to happen. What was once a strong empire, the bloodline had fallen into ruins in the aftermath of WrestleMania. Jimmy Uso was kicked out, Tama Tonga debuted, and Solo sees a clear path to where he can become what Roman once was. This is very interesting because it allows for the tribal chief to come back and challenge Sikoa on what he's done. The reason why that's good is not because we have to watch a long Solo Sikoa match, but because Roman Reigns turns face and changes his style all around. This match was chaotic in the beginning, which led to Nick Aldis making it a no DQ match. This was a great decision because it gave the heels more freedom to wrestle in a violent way and sell the new partnership between them. A normal match wouldn't really help establish them as well as a no DQ match would. There was some violent stuff going down. Orange selling was great, Tama Tonga took a lot of punishment to the back, and the crowd was really into the match. The heels won, which was expected. It was a great match though, and it wasn't like they won it clean. Tonga Loa returned to WWE, but this time he wasn't on a bike and I was laughing. Everyone thought it was Jacob Fatu, but not only was it not him, but it also proved that the bloodline has wrestlers coming in like unlockable characters. So there it is. This is a good opener, very exciting, great stuff. Crowd reaction was tremendous for Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. They loved them. They absolutely despised Solo Sikoa, and the debut was a bit of a shocker. I only see him as an additional like body with the bloodline. I don't really see much with him, but he matches the vibe with the faction. He's literally related to them, so it makes sense. Alright, the next match is a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Championship. Bayley defended the title against Tiffany Stratton and Naomi. Bayley's finally gotten a babyface run with the title. It's well deserved for her contributions throughout the years. This match was very good, and with the crowd by their side, it only made things better. The action never got dull, and with the way the match went, I wouldn't have a problem with a rematch. Bayley retained, of course, but the other two had strong performances that only make their future look brighter. Naomi and Tiffany Stratton did well with their position, and I wouldn't be shocked if they run it back sooner rather than later. Great stuff. The next match is the World Heavyweight Championship. Damian Priest defending the title against Jey Uso. This was somewhat surprising for a first title defense. We went from Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre to this already, but even though it was a downgrade, I was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. The story was mostly about Priest and his problems with the Judgment Day. He wanted to do things alone as opposed to needing their help, and at times, it was costing matches. Here, Jey and Priest had a very good style of wrestling. They masked a lot of their shortcomings and in turn had a pretty good match that surpassed my expectations. Jey Uso was spamming super kicks though, and in between there was a couple of interferences from JD McDonough and Finn Balor. This tied into the story and also made it seem like Jey was winning the title. In the end though, he was no match for Priest, who had to drop him from the top rope to retain the title. They tried to attack after the match, but Priest pushed them away, signaling a face turn was happening. It's gonna happen, but I would have preferred it went a bit differently. This feud is obviously a quick one to get Priest his first title defense, and the big story is clearly with the Judgment Day. Priest is probably going to be kicked out of the group, leading to Balor taking over. The question though is, will Priest do it as champion or not? The next match was the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. The Kabuki Warriors defended the titles against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. These two have been making a lot of
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
My black beautiful sisters. Representation at its finest. Thank you, Triple H.
Of noise recently. Cargill's WWE debut went perfectly and showcased her strengths a lot. Her charisma, her star power, and presence. This match is a bit obvious to me because of that, and we all knew that they would win the titles, but it was a pretty good match. I didn't have much thoughts about it because it seemed predictable, but they masked Cargill's shortcomings in a good way, just like they did with the previous match. EST was the workhorse while Cargill was a hot tag sequence that changed everything about the match. Asuka and Kairi once again showed their level of talent here, especially Asuka, who's 41 but still rolling around like she's in her peak. Jade was the weakest part, which was expected. She's kind of green. I heard some say the ref was talking to her at some point, but I couldn't hear any of it. I see this title reign going on through the summer, leading to Jade turning heel. I don't see it being Bianca because there's more to offer with Cargill as a heel. And the main event, Cody Rhodes defends the WWE Championship against AJ Styles. This is the match I was waiting for. It carried this pay-per-view for me because if it wasn't the main event, I'd have zero interest in the show. I just didn't care that much about them. I watch a pay-per-view.
The only thing I'll say about this match is I wish AJ Styles wasn't as old as he is. AJ Styles was in his TNA prime. Oh my god, this match would have tore the fucking house down. Because they let AJ get his moments, but man, it sucks that he can't do a lot of the moves that he used to do, man. His TNA moves. Y'all, for those of y'all that never watched AJ Styles in TNA, you don't know how deep this man's bag is. This man's bag is deep. There's a reason why he was God on TNA. But I ain't gonna get into that. Just know this man's bag used to be deep, but now he a lot older now. So sad.
For great matches, and what this card had to offer wasn't that interesting to me. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. With that said, it's been a couple of weeks into Rhodes' title reign, and people are already complaining.
Still a good match.
There was one point where Cody had 2 promos, and people were like, "Oh, it's bad. Roman was a better champion." This guy didn't even have a chance to have his first match, yet people are whining like he held the title for 3.5 years. When it comes down to it, in a couple of months, we'll see how the title reign goes. But for the moment, just watch. The thing is, people like their agendas being proven true. They like being validated, and if you hate on something enough, maybe it becomes true. But we got a great main event. We don't want to talk about that stuff. This is not the video for that. AJ Styles has once again showed up. I almost missed this version of AJ Styles. I will apologize to AJ Styles. I thought he was washed. I actually thought AJ Styles was done for. There was just a dry spell in his career. He's older. He's gotten more tired. Plus, they weren't pushing him hard. He's gotten older, but this heel turn has really brought some fire in him. And even though he's hurting and in pain, he's doing everything he could to put on great matches. Styles' theme song kind of upset me here. I thought we should have gotten his phenomenal song with the crowd in France, but it is what it is. The champion, of course, had a ridiculous reaction from the crowd. The match was what I expected it to be. These two put on a classic, pure wrestling, the likes we haven't seen at the very top of the card in a while. I don't really remember the #1 guy having a main event like this. It sounds like I'm glazing, but just understand for a moment, we're not pushing no Cody agenda. We haven't seen a WWE Championship match with no interference since Roman Reigns' match with Matt Riddle. It's refreshing, not to mention there was some unique stuff about this one. The fact that finishers felt stronger here, it was like any of their big moves, if it was hit, would win them the match. AJ though showed up. I'm glad he did because I was starting to miss that old version of him. He was a great opponent here, and I personally wouldn't have a problem with them doing a rematch. Great stuff with Cody kicking out of a burning hammer and showing fighting spirit. It reminded me of one of those AEW spots where the guy kicks out at 1 and makes a comeback. Shockingly, that actually never happened there with a burning hammer. Kayfabe explanation, storyline explanation. AJ didn't master the move in storyline, and he ended up messing up. Cody makes a comeback, and he dropped Styles with the Crossroads to retain the title. Great stuff. This is a main event. At the end of the day, this is what I missed. Alright, that's Backlash. This event actually surpassed my expectations. Everything about it was so good and provided a lot of optimism towards a lot of guys in the company. Jey Uso had a tremendous reaction, one of the best reactions in the entire show. I loved everything about that entrance, Orton's entrance, KO. If I had to give a negative for the show, I just don't have one. I do wish it was a bit grander because of the fact that they were in Lyon, France. They could have done more, but what they did with the show was good. You know, it was a very strong event. It's almost a
Yeah, I say it like this: terrible build up, but incredible pay-per-views. This reminds me of, like, I want to say a lot of pay-per-views back in '06, except December to Dismember. Oh, that shit was terrible. That shit was fucking garbage. But outside of December to Dismember, a lot of, like, the filler pay-per-views in '06, I want to say a lot of those pay-per-views had terrible build-ups. But the pay-per-view event itself, yo, everybody showed out. There was like hella 4-star, 5-star, 3.5-star matches, dog. Like, you couldn't really say they were bad. That's what I want to say. I want to say that '06 pay-per-view, their '06 pay-per-view run. That's what this reminded me of. Terrible build up, but when you get to the pay-per-view, it's like, yo, this is some good shit. That's what I will say. Every match, and it was really the crowd that made. We gotta give it up to the people of France, because they the reason why a lot of these matches went through the way they did. If it wasn't for them and their energy, yo, a lot of these matches would probably get like a 2. But man, the crowd, that just goes to show you how important it is. Like, over here in the US, we're spoiled. Like, we don't, like, we have to do better. As US fans, we have to do better. I understand we get to see these guys probably 2 or 3 times throughout the whole year. We probably get to see the WWE 2 to 3 times throughout the whole fucking year. That does not mean that we don't go in there and we don't turn the fuck up. Because look at what France just did. We gotta do better, man. We gotta do better.
Perfect event, I'd say. The way it was booked, everything about it was perfect. It's not a 10 out of 10 event, obviously, but I'm just saying they booked everything and did everything to the maximum, so I thought it was one of the best shows in the entire year. It was great. Match of the night was Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles. I just loved it. It was a classic main event. Something, you have that image in your mind of what it's gonna be, and it was just...
This was the second best match of the night, but that the one they started off with Kevin Owens, Randy Orton versus the Bloodline, yo, I feel like that was the match of the night. In my personal opinion, I feel like that was match of the night. I feel like this was definitely number 2, because yeah, AJ came to play, but like I said, man, his bag is deep than what it is now. I understand you get up there in age, you can't do certain things. I understand the body works in a certain type of way, but man, if this was TNA, prime TNA, AJ Styles, yo, this match probably would have went 5 fucking stars for me, hands down.
Just that the crowd was ridiculous throughout it. It was already crazy throughout the show, but here in the main event, they were at their craziest. The arena was shaking. They were yelling Cody Rhodes' song. They're shouting in French. WWE's got to do an event again there. They got to do an event in Paris. I don't know if they could do an event in Brussels and Belgium, but I'm just looking forward to some interesting stuff. A show in Amsterdam, Madrid, do another show in England. It doesn't have to be in London, it could be anywhere else, but they know better than us. You know, at the end of the day, WWE knows better than us how to book these events. But I'm just hoping they do more in Europe and South America, because here these crowds are hungry, they're starved, they're very interested in the shows, and they're very invested. They make the shows better. Even if the matches here were underwhelming, I was always gonna like this event because of the crowds.
Yeah.
Alright, what you guys think of Backlash? Please comment down below, and that's it for this video. Make sure you hit the splash on the like button and perhaps the crossroads on the subscribe button. Peace, I'm out.
Alrighty.
Oh, nah. After those long months of not seeing their families, the Mappa animators really thought they were free. Oh, nah.
Backlash went international once more. The show wasn't hyped that much, but it had that.
Yeah, man, that's just gonna about do it for this one, man. I will see you all in the next video, man. Backlash was definitely a good show. Shout out to France, man. Y'all the real MVPs. Y'all the real superstars. Shout out to France, man, because y'all held that shit down. Y'all made this shit so fucking good. But anyways, though, that's just gonna about do it for this one. I will see you all in the next video. Till then, peace out.